Hi everyone, this is Chris Moralia, and this is Transformative EdTech, helpful hints to enhance your classroom technology use. So we're trying to get to know our students in the first week, and today we're going to be using Kami. Good thing about Kami is it can be used in any subject and any grade level, as it's a very interactive tool and application. It works with Google Classroom, it works with Canvas, especially if you have a license for it, it easily integrates. Today we're going to be taking a look at using Kami for students' primary source analysis because we want to know our students at the same time having them use some historical skills that are going to give us an insight of how well they know analysis using primary sources. So I am now in Kami. I've taken a Google Doc and I've integrated it with Kami. So you'll see how this works here. So this particular assignment can be done on a Google slide and it can be done on a Google Doc. There's multiple ways of different ways of doing it. The one thing is that students are going to have to interact with it. So the term platicas, when we talk platicas, we're talking about conversations. This is a great way for students to begin the school year using their historical skills because they are going to learn about somebody else and they're going to use a picture. Now the pictures can be used from a variety of sources. A lot of people carry pictures on their cell phones, but you believe it or not, there's going to be people who have old pictures, as we might say. So what we're focusing on is practice of historical skills. So there are 6 steps in this process. Okay, so the first one is we want to make sure that students are going to identify a family photograph. And they could also have, this photograph could be on the cell phone as well. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's go with step 1. So with Kami, let's say the students have their photograph on their phone. Cool thing about it is you can add media on Kami. So in this case, I'm going to add a picture. So we'll see how this works and I've got this picture here. Okay, now once the picture is in, I need to go to the next step. So I've curated the picture, and so there you see a picture. We'll find more about this. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to go through the observation process, and we want to check off the different things that relate to the students and the picture itself. So we take a look at it, say, okay, well, looks like a family shot. Okay, we can cross that off, and we're using the drawing tool. You can use the text tool as well. It's in color. Is there a caption? No. What does it say? Well, we don't have much to say at all. Now, if there is something that needs to be said, then in Kami we use our text tool. And we select a text tool, and then we simply would be creating a text box to reply, indicating what is said. We list the objects and activities that you see. Okay, so let's go back and take a look at the picture here. Well, we see 5 people. So 5 people. It's the parents. It looks like 2 parents, 2 children. It looks like it's out in a field. Okay, so we have that. So what do we think is going on here? Well, we simply take a look at this. We say, well, it looks like the family posed for a picture. Okay, and once again with Kami, we've got the text box here, and we would write that down. What makes us think that? Well, this is where we get a little more critical and analytical in this process here. So look, for example, they're posing. They're posing together. That definitely looks like a family portrait. Okay, why do we think this picture is taken? Some families will pose for pictures once a year. What questions do we have about people in the event of the photo? Okay, so one would be, so let's say I was asking, for my purposes, this is my family of origin growing up. I might want to ask maybe about the ages or the names of the people in the picture, where it was taken, the photographer. Okay, next question is we're looking at the photographer. So this is where we use our critical skills again. So why, I might be asking the photographer, why did you take the picture there? Why did you decide on that setting? Okay, so now we're going to step 2. This is where we have the conversations. This is where we would ask somebody in the family about the picture. What do they remember about it? Now, in my particular case, neither one of my parents are around, but for students, they have usually somebody's around and they could answer the questions. And we want to know, what do you remember about this place? And then we want to focus on, so why do you think this was important to capture? What was the reason for this? And then after you have asked these questions, you could ask additional questions. Now, the last part here is the write-up. And this is what's the really cool thing about this, is that the students are using their analytical skills, but they've already answered these questions. Okay, so it just goes back to each one of these steps here. This is what I like about the first time I examined the picture. I thought, wow, maybe I thought that that these people lived out on a farm. And then after talking to, for example, my brother, I learned that this picture was actually taken 25 miles away from where I grew up. I'm still wondering why this place was taken. Like, did we know about it? This is an important piece of my family's history. So if I go back here and I look at the picture, well, it shows that the people in this picture they look like they're pretty grown up, and maybe almost out of maybe in high school or beyond. So maybe is one of the last times I got together with the picture. Okay, so I'm filling all this information out, and then I could go on, and this is with the reflection about how the people that you actually engage in the conversation, what did they think this was like? What was the reflection in having this conversation with them? So this is a great way on how to use Cami. Week 1, analyzing family photos, good use of historical analysis skills.